Hello and welcome. It is raining IPOs this season. There is a new IPO or an initial public offer every week, if not every day of the week, and they are larger in size as they come. As we speak, there are many of these blockbusters open, but the one that recently closed up was Nykaa. बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिला ऐसे रिटेल से, इंस्टीट्यूशनल से, और उम्मीद है कि जब ये स्टॉक लिस्ट करेगा तो कुछ गेन्स के साथ लिस्ट करेगा. जनरली जब कोई आईपीओ या इस किस्म का इशू ओवर सब्सक्राइब होता है, एक्सपेक्टेशन ये होती है कि लिस्टिंग डे पे काफ़ी हैंडसम गेन्स मिलेंगे. तो आइए सुनते हैं इस बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन को अराउंड द नायका आईपीओ. व्हाट वाज सो स्ट्रॉन्ग अबाउट इट? मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली, लिस्टिंग के बाद क्या ये अभी एक बाय है? इसकी क्या खामियां हैं, इसकी क्या स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं? इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में आपको सुनने को मिलेगा, और आपको ये भी पता चलेगा मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली वेदर और नॉट यू शुड बी बाइंग the Naykaa story even after listing, in case you were one of the very many people who could not get any subscription, क्योंकि ऐसे issues में बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है रिटेल को खास कर की सब्सक्रिप्शन पाने के लिए. तो ये पूरा वीडियो वॉच कीजिएगा. इफ़ यू लाइक व्हाट यू सॉ, प्लीज शेयर, सब्सक्राइब, टेल अस व्हाट you think, tell me what else you'd like to hear about, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of these conversations around IPOs, around the stock market, and around investing. I'm Mitali Mukherjee, and here is the conversation about Naykaa.
So now we're going to really break it down into a brick by brick or IPO by IPO story. Okay, let's start with Naykaa, where subscription of course has already closed. So now we're waiting for it to list. But for someone who didn't get a chance to subscribe, let's talk a little bit about Naykaa. Let's start with you. Tell me a little bit about what you see as the story of Naykaa.
So as I told you, women can do it much better than men. That's the story and that's the narrative of Naykaa. You have to look at the founder, Falguni Nair, the hotshot investment banker from Kotak, who left everything at the age of 50 to start this venture because she saw a problem where she couldn't find the right shade of nail polish. And then she saw the big addressable market, that Indian women are facing a problem while ordering cosmetics. She saw that no single cosmetic brand had a bigger market share of more than 5-6%. So there is no loyalty factor to that. So while addressing that problem, she created this marketplace for BPC, products. At this point of time, online BPC is approximately about 8%, right? So there is immense scalability and penetration that is still left. So on a stock like Naykaa, and it is one of the very few unicorns in India that's profitable. It's cash positive. So it's a solid unicorn which has showed that not all such startups are cash negative, first of all. Even if you've missed the stock, you have to see that they are now venturing into fashion, and now it's just females fashion. There's a huge market around men's fashion, men's grooming products. They are going to go into brick and mortar stores, and they are talking to influencers and social media influencers, and we all for a fact know that internet penetration will grow.
I'm going to pause there because I'm going to come back to the advantages, some of which you lined out. Let me extend the Naykaa story to you to also point out the fact that here is a company that has been able to successfully tap a need in a B and C market and is not metro specific. In that sense, do you like something about the Naykaa story?
I really love the Naykaa story. I believe that this story has a lot of potential to it. However, again, if we come back to the basics, back to the valuation, the fact that free cash flows being generated, yes, but you can't have free cash flows of X amount being generated and value something at 100, 200, 300x. You have to have some sort of semblance to it. Because as I have mentioned that these companies were different 5 years back, they'll be very different 5 years forward also. So I don't believe that Naykaa at this point of time, given the fact that it's not even raising a lot of money, so primarily its focus will be very, very specific with the amount of raise that it's not like Zomato's raising 10,000 crores and all. They're just raising 630 crores. The rest is all exit to existing investors. So if I were
to ask you to toss everything that we know exists exist at this point in terms of the value or the price per share, etc., what would you say would or should be the fair value for Nykaa?
So I tried to compute that with very liberal assumptions. As in, we try to do that with very liberal assumptions. We got a fair value of around about 25,000 crores, which roughly translates to half of what it is right now. But having said that, those assumptions were liberal in the nature that these are the two business lines that will grow for the foreseeable future. But again, that foreseeable future is the next 10 years, which we thought about.
To all these unicorns, would you say Nykaa has the cleanest or clearest financial roadmap? I'm not talking about potential, because you can't compare a Zomato to a Nykaa. You know, they're doing something very different. But would you say they have the clearest roadmap financially speaking?
So yeah, for companies that are coming in the IPO road, but if I look at a company like I think Pine Labs or Zerodha, I mean, we can't, I mean, because we don't have that information that's publicly available with us. There are other Indian unicorns also which are much more profitable. I mean, look at other companies as well. So Zoho Books, for example. So
ID, for example.
So I mean, you can say that for in terms of the companies which are headed the IPO route, and the story sells here. I'll tell you, the story sells better because she has a reputation of being an investment banker, of managing those funds. I mean, she has not diluted her share to a lot less.
So government policy, you would say, might be a red flag for Nykaa?
Yes, government policy does seem to be a red flag for Nykaa. It's because government policies around private labels, I feel, can be a red flag. It's because government has come out with certain draft e-commerce rules where in the marketplace you cannot push your own products, because that gives you an unfair advantage. You know, you can place your products for the consumer. It can be much easier to order your products vis-a-vis actually the marketplace who wants to actually a seller who wants to sell the product through your marketplace.
I want a Lakme conditioner, but you're pushing the Nykaa conditioner.
Yes, and Amazon has been very successful in doing that.
So let me ask you this differently. If it were to list at a premium, as it suggests right now, would you still buy a piece of it?
Yeah, for Nykaa, definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
I would not touch it with a stick also.
Really?
Yes.
At what price would you buy it?
I would buy it half what it is, at maybe 600, 500. I would be a buyer than that.
No, you're not adding the grey market premium.
No, I'm just saying the actual grey market premium.
Actual grey market premium.
Is the price, I feel. So it's actually, I believe so, and I will try to stick by that. I may, you know, just for fun, you know, have some small speculative moves for a day or so, or maybe, you know, hold the stock just like that, just for you know, just having an exit strategy in mind, because you can never ever bet against momentum. You know, what best momentum can we know is about 2001 boom, which was a dot-com bubble or dot-com boom. But it was I feel that gives us a bit of a headroom that yes, these stocks do have a bit headroom to go ahead even now. So Nykaa, I won't be surprised if Nykaa doubles from this place, but of course its intrinsic value seems to be far less.
Okay, so buy for you and buy it half the price for you.
Yes.
Okay.